What has a claw so fast it breaks the laws of physics, a punch that boils water, and a sound louder than a gunshot? You might think of a futuristic weapon, but it's alive. Meet the pistol shrimp.
Barely 2 inches long, this tiny crustacean carries the ocean's most violent secret. It doesn't bite, sting, or chase. It shoots. With a single snap of its oversized claw, the pistol shrimp fires a cavitation bubble that travels faster than a bullet and reaches nearly 5,000 degrees Kelvin, hotter than the surface of the sun. In that instant, the shockwave kills prey, stuns fish, and produces a flash of light, a silent explosion in the deep. It's one of nature's most perfect assassins, a living paradox of size and power, fragility and force. And behind that thunderous claw lies a story about precision, physics, and perhaps even the fingerprints of something greater than chance. To understand the power, you first have to understand the design. The pistol shrimp's claw isn't just large, it's asymmetrical. One claw is normal-sized. The other, disproportionately massive, sometimes half the size of its entire body. This oversized appendage is a biological masterpiece. It consists of 2 parts, a movable finger called the dactyl and a fixed base called the propus. When the shrimp cocks its claw, it's loading a spring, a specialized joint that stores energy like a compressed mousetrap. And when it releases, the dactyl snaps shut at speeds exceeding 60 miles per hour, one of the fastest movements in the animal kingdom. But the claw itself doesn't touch the prey. Instead, the snap creates a high-velocity jet of water that forms a cavitation bubble, a pocket of vapor caused by extreme low pressure. As that bubble collapses mere milliseconds later, it releases a shockwave powerful enough to stun or kill small fish. Temperatures reaching 4,700 degrees Celsius, nearly as hot as the sun's surface, a sound measuring up to 218 decibels, louder than a jet engine at takeoff, and a brief flash of light called sonoluminescence, light born from collapsing bubbles. All of this from a creature you could hold on your fingertip. Let's pause and appreciate what's actually happening here. The pistol shrimp has weaponized fluid dynamics and thermodynamics in a way engineers struggle to replicate. Cavitation, the formation and collapse of vapor bubbles in liquid, is typically something machines try to avoid. It damages boat propellers, erodes turbines, and reduces efficiency. But the pistol shrimp, it exploits cavitation with surgical precision. When the claw snaps, it accelerates water so quickly that pressure drops below the vapor point, creating a bubble where none should exist. This bubble expands, then implodes violently, generating extreme heat and force concentrated into a microscopic point. This process happens in less than 1 millisecond. To put that in perspective, by the time you blink, about 100 to 150 milliseconds, the pistol shrimp could fire its weapon over 100 times. Scientists call this phenomenon supercavitation. Militaries spend billions trying to engineer it into torpedoes. A 2-inch shrimp does it effortlessly. So how does this living weapon use its power? The pistol shrimp is an ambush predator. It lurks in burrows, crevices, or coral, waiting. When a small fish, crab, or worm ventures too close, the shrimp strikes. One snap. The cavitation bubble races forward. The shockwave hits the target like an invisible hammer. The prey is stunned, sometimes killed instantly, and dragged back into the shadows. But here's what makes it even more remarkable. The pistol shrimp doesn't rely on sight. Many species have poor vision. Instead, they use sensory hairs on their antennae to detect vibrations and chemical signals in the water. They hunt in near total darkness, in murky reefs where vision is useless, and yet they strike with pinpoint accuracy. This is a creature that has evolved a ranged weapon, sonar-like detection, and ambush tactics, all without a brain larger than a grain of rice. But the pistol shrimp isn't just a solitary killer. Some species have formed one of the ocean's most fascinating partnerships with goby fish. Here's how it works. The shrimp is an expert digger. It excavates intricate burrows in the sand, but it's nearly blind. The goby, on the other hand, has excellent vision, but it's terrible at building shelter. So they team up. The shrimp digs and maintains the burrow. The goby stands guard at the entrance, watching for predators. And here's the beautiful part. The shrimp keeps one of its antennae in constant contact with the goby's tail. If the fish detects danger, it flicks its tail, a silent alarm. The shrimp instantly retreats into the burrow, and the goby dives in behind it. Two species, two weaknesses. One perfect solution. It's cooperation born not from intelligence, but from instinct, and it works flawlessly. Now imagine this, not one pistol shrimp, but thousands. In shallow tropical waters, entire colonies of snapping shrimp create a symphony of chaos, a crackling, popping soundscape so loud it can interfere with sonar. During World War II, submarines would hide near snapping shrimp beds because the noise made them acoustically invisible to enemy detection. Even today, marine biologists and naval engineers must account for shrimp noise when deploying underwater listening devices. In fact, snapping shrimp colonies are so loud, they're considered one of the dominant sources of underwater noise in coastal oceans, louder than waves, louder than most marine life, a creature smaller than your thumb, affecting naval warfare. Let that sink in. So here's the question that haunts researchers. How does something like this happen? The pistol shrimp's claw isn't just powerful. It's precisely engineered down to the microscopic level. The spring-loaded joint requires exact tension. The shape of the claw must create a perfect seal. The speed must be calibrated to generate cavitation without tearing the limb apart. Get any of these variables wrong, and the weapon doesn't work. It's not just inefficient, it's useless. This is what scientists call irreducible complexity, a system where every part must be present and functional for the whole to work. So how did it evolve step by step? What selective advantage does a partially formed cavitation claw provide? A claw that snaps but not fast enough, a bubble that forms but doesn't collapse with lethal force. Darwinian evolution depends on incremental advantages. But some systems, like the pistol shrimp's weapon, seem to require everything to be in place simultaneously. And that raises a deeper question. Is this the result of millions of years of gradual refinement, or the mark of intentional design? Let's think about what we've just explored. A microscopic crustacean wields a weapon that utilizes advanced fluid dynamics, generates plasma-level temperatures, produces light through sonoluminescence, operates faster than human perception, and functions with mechanical precision. Now consider, engineers can barely replicate this with millions of dollars and years of research. Yet the pistol shrimp is born with it, fully functional, perfectly calibrated, ready to fire. Some see this as proof of evolution's creativity. Given enough time, nature will stumble upon anything. But others see something different. They see a system so finely tuned, so interdependent, that it points not to chance, but to purpose. To a designer who embedded ingenuity into the fabric of life itself. You don't look at a Swiss watch and assume it assembled itself. You recognize craftsmanship. The pistol shrimp's claw is a Swiss watch made of flesh and chitin, precision wrapped in a living shell. And perhaps that's not an accident. The ocean is full of wonders we've barely begun to understand, but every now and then we encounter something that stops us cold, something so elegant, so perfectly adapted, it feels less like biology and more like artistry. The pistol shrimp is one of those creatures. It doesn't roar, it doesn't shine, it doesn't soar through the water with grace. It hides in the sand and the shadows, armed with a weapon most will never see. And yet, in that single snap, That fraction of a second when water becomes fire, sound becomes light, and physics bends to biology. We glimpse something profound. We see a creature that defies its size. We see power in the small, complexity in the simple, and perhaps design in the details. The pistol shrimp doesn't preach. It doesn't argue. It simply is. And maybe that's the most powerful testimony of all. In the depths of the ocean, there's a sound like thunder, a flash like lightning, a force that breaks the rules. And in that moment, brief, violent, beautiful, the world sees a paradox. Something small that shakes the sea, something fragile that commands respect, something alive that feels designed. The pistol shrimp, nature's gunslinger, and perhaps a message written in bubbles and light.